The Super Bowl is typically a depressing time of the year for the food, dude. I'm a huge fan of sports. All sports, except for hockey. There's no ball. But I'm a huge fan, and the Super Bowl, because I'm a fan of the San Diego Chargers, is, rarely a game that I have a team to root for. Don't forget, I'm also a Houston Oilers fan. They haven't been playing for some time, so they're not getting into the Super Bowl anytime soon. Sure, I dabble in Tennessee Titans, but it's not the same as it once was. So, when it comes to the Super Bowl, I typically root for teams that come from cities with great food. That way, I can theme my Super Bowl party based around those foods, and everybody's happy, including me. So this year, we've got the Arizona Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And first, we're going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. This team is an answer to some prayers for me, because it was getting grim. I had San Diego in there, fish tacos, unbelievably good. Tennessee, I thought I was a lock for them, but no, Memphis-style ribs, gone forever. Baltimore Ravens, hey, you never know. That would have been fine, Maryland crab cakes. But no, it had to be the Steelers, who, from my research, chip chop beef or something like that, which is more or less spam, was going to be it. Although I did find a really great recipe, which we'll talk about later on. The NFC, on the other hand, we had some better choices. It came down to Philly cheesesteak versus the dish we're going to make today, carne adobada. And as much as I love Philly cheesesteaks, and I love them, carne adobada is one of my absolute favorite foods in the entire world. And my favorite place to get it is a restaurant in the Phoenix area. There's 2 or 3 locations there. It's called Los Dos Molinos. It's a family-owned and operated restaurant. It's been there for years. It's an unbelievable eating experience. It's not anything fancy, but think soup Nazi with really spicy food and no free refills, and that's Los Dos Molinos. Things may have changed since the last time I was there, but that's the way it was then, and I loved it. So hot was the food that upon the first bite, I actually started laughing out loud because my mouth was on such fire, and yet I couldn't stop eating it. So this dish is derived from a recipe that they use at Los Dos Molinos, and carne adobada is a very, very simple dish. All it is cubed pork with a lot of chili, both flaked and in powder form, with a little bit of broth, put over a low fire and cooked for many, many hours. Here's a look at the ingredients. We've got 3 pounds diced pork that came from a pork loin, and tablespoon of Mexican oregano, tablespoon of black pepper, 1/4 cup of chamayo chili, 1/4 cup of pepper flakes. This is a mixture of chamayo chilies and ancho chilies that came from my garden and dried. And then we've got fresh garlic mashed together with about a tablespoon of salt to make a homemade garlic salt. Then we've got a cup of chicken broth and a Dutch oven. Comes the pork. A lot of times you want to brown the pork, but in this recipe we're not going to do it. We're just going to go very simple. Here comes oregano, pepper, chamayo, flakes, more chamayo in there. Come on. Can't leave anything out. That's 3 or 4 teardrops right there. There we go. And then the garlic paste. All right. This pot was already pretty hot, so the liquid is already starting to boil, which is a good thing. You want to stir this really thoroughly because it's the only stirring that this dish is going to get for the next few hours. And now, I'm going to pack it down really good. Try and distribute that liquid as evenly as humanly possible. Almost like a meatloaf. And when it's done, this meat is going to fall apart. Okay. Well, now we sit here, or lean here, or stand here, whatever verb you want to come up with there. We'll just stay here for the next 3 to 4 hours and make sure that every single morsel comes out perfectly. That's really the only way that you can do this. In the AFC, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the food there is very diverse. A lot of cultural diversity in Pittsburgh. Huge Italian population, huge Eastern European population, Polish, you name it, all over Eastern Europe. They're all there. So you put the two together, and deli, that's what it's all about. Between Italian bread and Polish sausage and all the stuff in between, this is the stuff that people eat in Pittsburgh. Sandwiches are huge. The most famous sandwich out of Pittsburgh is from a place called Primanti Brothers. It originally started many, many years ago out by the steel mills, and the idea was the steel workers had a very short amount of time and huge appetites. So what they did is they took all the elements that the workers might want to eat and put them all together on one piece of bread, wrapped it in wax paper, and you got a huge meal in one, or actually 2 fistfuls. So the idea is take whatever you want deli-wise, pastrami, ham, roast beef, corned beef, you name it, turkey, all the cheeses, all those things, and then slice up a bunch of tomatoes. Most importantly, have great bread, some kind of big loaf, preferably Italian loaf if you can find it, really good fresh, sliced an inch thick. And then on top of all your big deli sandwich, you pile on French fries and coleslaw. I know it sounds disgusting, it sounds messy. It's one of those two things, very messy, but far from disgusting. It's delicious. I'll show you how to make some French fries and throw together a quick coleslaw, and you got yourself a Super Bowl worthy meal. Get your terrible towel ready to wave. I'm promising you, this is a taste of Pittsburgh. You're going to feel like you can smell the soot coming off the smokestacks. Okay, looks like the temperature is right about 325 where we need it. Fresh cut fries. They've got a little bit of flour on them, and I'm stuck in the freezer. There we go. All right, now I'm going to transfer them to a paper towel lined bowl. Nice and golden brown. A little bit of salt. Oh yeah, we are good to go. Here's a super quick, super tasty slaw. It's a cheater slaw, I'll admit it. I use the jarred sauce. This is a Lighthouse brand jalapeno ranch. And I like to add a few jalapenos myself because I like it a little extra spicy. You just put that in there with one bag of pre-shredded coleslaw mix, which includes carrots and cabbage, a little bit of red cabbage. I also tossed in half a red onion just to mix it up really good. If you've got really big Ziploc bags, you can just toss the whole thing in there and give it, some good shakes. Shaken slaw syndrome, and voila, instant, delicious slaw. So we've got our deli meats and cheeses stacked here. I've got some pastrami and some salami. That's just what I like. A little provolone cheese, plenty of fresh sliced tomatoes, and then to that, pile on slaw. Oh yeah, liberally. We got a Democrat in the White House. Take this opportunity to act liberally. And then fries. Oh yeah. And you can do as much as you want. I mean, I'm just doing a little bit here. And then top it all off. We got it. And then wrap it in wax paper. Ready to eat? All right, here are your competitors. There's your carne adobada taco. There's your Pittsburgh style deli sandwich. Oh boy. Go Cardinals. Mm. Mm. like a Larry Fitzgerald touchdown. All right. I don't know. Steelers might have just got a sack or something. I don't know. Wax paper, that's the key. That'll keep it clean. Not so much for your chin. Well, bottom line is, you make these two dishes for your Super Bowl party, no losers. Promise.